Sweet. So I am working on the new Plebdevs platform, which is not quite live yet. I've been working on it for about 2 weeks now. I'm very excited about how it's coming along. Um, Definitely still have a lot of features I want to add, but I'm in a fun point now where a lot of the front end stuff is taken care of, and I can start to implement more of the fun sort of Noster features. So I'm going to start with Zaps. This evening, very simply, just want the ability to zap a piece of content first and foremost. And then from there, I want to show how many zaps are on the pieces of content. So let's spin this up. I'll give you kind of a quick up-build. Give you a quick tour of the app so far. It'll take a second to spin up here. I'm using Next.js here for the front end, and I have a database with Prisma and Postgres. This has been my favorite stack to work with as of lately, and a lot of the reason is just like it's very similar to Stacker News, and a lot of other projects I've worked on recently as well. So it's a good tool set, and I'm getting more familiar with it. Okay, localhost. Let's check it out. Cool. All right, so here's the basic landing page we have right now and kind of the basic site. Hopefully this gives an idea of like how I'm trying to frame the website. So this is there's a lot of things I want to do beyond the MVP, but the basic MVP for this is just I want to be able to host all of my content in one place, and I want to be able to host it on an open protocol, aka Noster. So right now, all of this content is just open and free, and these are actually example resources I'm just posting for like, basically just filler data for right now, but it will look something like this. And so the idea is that this is all free content right now, but the idea is that I'm going to post a majority of my content will be free here. The courses will probably be paid. And I'm kind of coming up with a scheme to have it to where all the content, no matter what, it's going to be broadcasted to Noster, but the paid content, you're basically going to get the offer of like, here's the image, here's the title, here's the summary, but the content of it is going to be encrypted. And for the time being, I'm just going to use like an app key pair on Plebdevs. So you'll kind of be trusting Plebdevs at first to encrypt the content and keep the keys to decrypt it. So it's going to be centralized in the sense that like you come into this website to pay for the content and to access the paid content, but all the content is still spread and it's all on Noster. And so as you post from here, you'll be able to go over other Noster clients and see that your content is there as well. So, you can be posting content free or paid, and people that have never even been to this client will be finding it on other clients, will be able to interact with it and zap it and stuff like that. So that's kind of the idea. So it's just the main page. I've got 3 content types I'm going to be starting with. A resource, which is basically going to be a document, workshop, which is going to be a YouTube video with kind of a summary, and then a course, which we're still early on this. It's not in its full schema, but a course is, I think how I'm going to do courses is actually a lister. It's going to be a lister of individual resources, basically individual documents that all come together in a certain order. So I think lister will be able to solve that for me, but not quite to that point yet. Yeah, so I have a basic details page for when you visit the content. And I have my Zap button set aside right now. And you have a profile over here, so I'm logged in as myself, so that's why there's both Plebdevs icons here. And a lot of this stuff is boilerplate. It's not all there. But basically the idea is like you're going to be able to create these resources, I've got these forms to do it, and as soon as you create them, they're going to live as drafts. So they're not actually going to be posted in Noster first. And from the point that they're a draft, you can go visit it, and then you're going to be able to publish it or like edit it. So that's pretty cool. And since all of these pieces of content, I'm not sure about listers, but the workshops and the resources are both the long form NIP23 content. So that means they're going to be editable, which means that they call it parameterized replaceable events. It's just basically this idea in Noster that you have a special parameter that if you provide with an updated signature, that the relays will take the old note and no longer show it and only show the updated note. So it's not like you're actually editing the original note. It's more that it's just, I guess, part of the spec that relays recognize and will only serve up the newest piece of content. So effectively, from a client standpoint, it's a way to make events that are editable. Cool. Yeah, so that's kind of a basic overview. So open up the inspector here, and yeah, we're going to start on the details page here. I'm just going to start with this Zap button. So I have this set aside, so let's jump into the code here. And I'm on the latest. Okay, cool. So right now, most of the Noster logic lives inside of here. I have this pretty large hook to use all the Noster logic. It's not completely cleaned up, but I just have a bunch of functions here for pulling in content. So I have specific functions for fetching my resources, where I have various criteria to determine, you know, what is my resource and like what do I want to show on the website. So that's definitely deep topic right there. Fetching kind 0, fetching single event, publishing event. Yeah, and then I have like a relay statuses thing to keep up with the statuses of my relay or relay connections. Cool. So I'm going to start with Noster tools, because this is going to be the library I'm using. And I know they have a NIP57 module here. And so NIP57, I have it pulled up here. This is the spec for Lightning Zaps. It is one of the biggest NIPs, as far as I know. There's a lot in here. It's a lot to read through, even the protocol flow here. But essentially how this works is it's built on top of LNURL pay, that is. So essentially how this works is we're going to pull, so we're going to get the user from the piece of content, or get the author. We are going to, I'm going to write this down actually. Figure out where I'm going to put my, so Zaps. So we are going to, we are going to get the author, the content. 2, get the authors, 0. 3, get the authors LUD16 if available. So that LUD16, that's going to be the Lightning address, basically. So I guess, yeah, it's not LNURL pay. It's actually LUD16, which is Lightning address. And so that should be on their profile, but not everyone has one, right? So we need to make sure if it's there. So after we have the LUD16, no, not that. We are going to make a request to the LUD16 endpoint. With a Zap request Noster event. Okay, that's where I need to look at the spec. So I believe I know we create a Zap request event, special kind of Noster event. And I believe we actually send that to their LUD16 endpoint. So let's go here to the spec and make sure. So grabbing the LUD16 field. Okay, the client must send a GET request to this URL and parse the response. if allow noster exists and it's true. Oh, yes. So that's an important thing as well we need. So get the author's left 16. So actually, first we need to make a GET request to the let 16 endpoint and ensure that allow noster is true. Cool. Okay, and if noster pub key exists and is a valid BIP340 public key in hex. The client associate this information with the user along with the response, callback, min symbol, and max symbol values. Okay, that's just the traditional callback fields. Clients may choose to display a lightning zap button for each post on a user's profile. Okay, why are you telling me this first? When a user, the sender, indicates they want to send a zap to another user, the client should create a zap request event as described in Appendix A of the SNP and sign it. Okay. So next we create a zap request event and sign it. Instead of publishing the zap request, the 9734 event, I think that's the kind, should be instead sent to the callback URL received from the LNURL pay endpoint for the recipient using a GET request. See Appendix B for details. Okay, so we do call the callback with the event. Appendix B. And this shows how we do that. A lot of steps here. Arian says, hi, hello. What is up? Welcome. Okay, so we send to the callback. Send to the callback URL as a GET request with the noster event as a query param. Cool. Noster query parameter. Okay. If the zap request is valid, the server should fetch a description hash invoice where the description is the zap request note, and this note only. No additional LNURL metadata is included in the description. This will be returned to the response according to LUT 06. On receiving the invoice, fetch a description hash invoice. Okay. That was confusing. I was like, why are they fetching a description hash? So that's just a part of the verification step in LUT 16. Because you basically bake this the invoice with a special description hash that comes from the info on the LUT 16. I know it's confusing, but we go over this in the YouTube Plebdevs. Check out the Plebdevs Lightning address workshop. That's somewhere here. Here it is. No, that's Lightning login. Lightning address. We go over all of this, and there's also the LNURL pay, which is kind of a prerequisite to that. Okay. Back to our flow. So on receiving the invoice, the client may pay it or pass it to an app that can pay the invoice. Send the callback URL as a GET request in our server. 7, get the invoice back and pay it with WebLN. I'm just going to use WebLN for right now. There will be probably more options for Lightning payments later on. So we pay it. Once the invoice is paid, the recipient's LNURL server must generate a ZAP receipt as described in Appendix E and publish it to the relays specified in the ZAP request. Clients may fetch the ZAP receipt in posts and profiles, but must authorize their validity as described in Appendix F. Non-empty comment. Okay. So basically, 8, listen for the ZAP receipt. And update the UI. Yeah, sure. Okay, so that's kind of our spec here. That's a lot. That's 8 steps. Let's start to break this down. So I know I'm going to have so there's some helper functions here that I want to try and use from Nostr tools. We have get zap endpoint, make zap request, profile event, amount, relays, comment, validate zap request, make zap receipt. I'm not the one making a zap receipt. I'll be listening for zap receipt. Okay, so these look pretty useful. So let's try and just build this in a one function at first, and we'll see how we can split it up. So I'm going to say const zap event equals async. Okay, so we're going to take in the event. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just take in the whole event. And so first we're going to get the author from the content. So, you know, actually, is there a different consideration here for in the spec for zapping an event versus zapping a user? So this is a zap request. Next pub key of the recipient. E is an optional hex encoded event ID. Clients must include this if zapping an event rather than a person. Okay. So we had the P tag for zapping an individual and an E tag. Do we need both? It doesn't really explicitly say that. In the zap spec, when making a zap request to an event, not a pub key, do I need to only include E tag? Oops, forgot to provide the spec. Rather than a pub key, you should include the E tag. Okay, so we just exclusively use the E tag only. According to ChatGPT, we will find out if I am trusting too much. Okay, so we're going to say const author pub key equals event.pubkey. Actually, I don't even need to do that. I'm just going to do, so I have a fetch kind 0 function here. And I'm already using it, so fetch kind 0, let's see how I'm using it. Okay, I'm having to explicitly pass in the filter and the options. That's fine. Turn the music back on. Oops. Okay, const kind 0 goes await, fetch kind 0, int.pubkey, kinds, and then no options. So that seems right. And when I'm doing it elsewhere, I think I need to like parse the fields pretty carefully. Kind 0. I have find kind 0 fields here. What does this do? Fields, we have a username property. This is all it's really doing right now, is just parsing out the username property, and the avatar property, so we don't need that. We should have everything we need right away. So const has blood 16 kind 0 if has blood 16. So get the author from the content, get their kind 0, get the author's LUD16 if available. Make a GET request to the LUD16 endpoint and ensure the allow noster is true. Okay, cool. Now this might be where I use noster tools library. So we have a get zap endpoint. How do we use this? Get zap endpoint. Let's check the tests. Return null if neither LUD16, LUD or 6 or LUD16 is present. Ah, I forgot we can have a LUD6 as well, which is a ln URL pay. So what is this? Constant metadata, build event, kind 0 content. Empty. I don't understand this build event from /test helpers. Yep. 57. Let's go to test utils. I don't know how they're building this event. Test helpers. So params, they pass in partial event. So we're just passing kind 0 empty content. Returns null. Returns null, fetch fails. Returns null if the response does not allow for noster payments. I see. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Returns the callback URL if the response allows noster payments. So JSON allow noster true, noster pub key, callback. So I'm just passing in the entire kind 0, it appears. So let's try that. So is that called? Get zap endpoint. Those test helpers. Get zap endpoint. Oh, nip 57. Okay. If kind 0, we'll just say if object. Okay, so if we don't get it, we just error out and return. Otherwise, I'm going to say get zap endpoint. Const zap endpoint equals nip 57. I probably need to await this. Await nip 57 dot get zap endpoint, passing in the kind 0. And then let's just console.log the zap endpoint. And this will be a good point, I think, to actually try this. Passing the event. Okay, let's return zap event. And let's give it a try. We'll plug it into our button. Is this on the details page? I have a button that says zap. Cool. And am I using use noster in here? Got use noster, so I'm gonna bring in zap event. Oops. Okay. Let's make a handler function for this. So const handle zap event. Event. Oh, actually, I have the event here, and we have processed event. So I just want event. I'm just gonna grab it from the outside scope. So I'll say if not event return otherwise const response equals await zap event, and let's log that. And then we'll throw it on and click on here. Click handles app event. Okay, let's see what happens. See if we get our endpoint. Zap. Ooh, zap endpoint null, zap response undefined. Goddamn. Okay, let's see what happened. So, into the use noster hook first. Let's just make sure we got our event. Probably should have checked that up front. So console.log, zapping event. Okay, so we have the event. It seems to be in full here. Ooh, I just realized maybe I might have done this from a test account, and my test account might not have a LUT16. So let's check. I can check this with so Noster tool is something I use a lot just for doing that quick pub key to inpub. So wait, load pub key from inpub. Sweet. So here's an inpub. I'll copy that, and I can go to noster.com/inpub. Inpub nip05 nip57. Okay. Yeah. So it seems legit. This is my Plebdevs guy, so should have a nip57. Okay. Let me use the bathroom real quick, and then I'll come back and we'll fix this. So I'll be right back. think I realized what dumb mistake I was making when I was gone. Kind 0. Okay, so we're getting the event. Let's check if we're getting the kind 0 back. Log kind 0. Kind 0. I'm awaiting it, so that should be correct. All right, so we do get the kind 0. And there is a LUD 16 field here. Getting zap endpoint null. Metadata event. Awaiting it. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why this isn't working. Might just do this manually. It's a promise. I'm awaiting it. Metadata.content. Metadata.content is what's parsing. So I think I am returning the content here, actually. Let's go to fetch kind 0. On event, I'm just pushing the whole event. Oh wait, ooh, I see event.content. Okay, so I don't want to change this function because I'm using this elsewhere, but I can just wrap. I can say kind 0 payload equals, we're just kind of an object, and we're going to say content is equal to kind 0. Okay, that's kind of backwards, that's kind of funky, but you know, would rather not implement this myself. Let's try it now, see if we get our zap endpoint. Clear this out. Nothing. So content kind 0 payload dot content. So you're getting pass in metadata. It's parsing out metadata dot content, and it's looking for LUD 16 or LUD 06. Kind 0 payload.
Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right?
Content.
Serious gourmet shit. What flavor is this?
Okay, let's console log this. Object.content, and this content contains LUD 16. So I don't know what is going on. I'm awaiting it. Okay, so screw it. We'll not use this function. We'll do it ourselves. So no kind 0 payload. We'll say, so if kind 0 dot LUD 16 else if kind 0 dot LUD 06, this will be the LMURL, and then we'll have else error fetching kind 0. Okay. Show toast. No, it's not user is not enabled Noster. This would be error, unable to fetch kind 0. Or wait, no. So user has no lightning address or LN URL. Okay, so we'll have handle LN URL pay. I'm just gonna set this aside for right now. We'll just work on the LED 16. All right, make a get request to LED16 endpoint and ensure that allow Noster is true. So let's console.log this response. See what we get. Yo, what's up? I am working on my personal content platform right here, where I'm gonna host all of my content, a lot of it free, some of it paid. All of it will be tippable and zappable, and all of it's also gonna be completely open on Noster, posted in Noster, stored on Noster. So kind of a weird fusion website where I'm storing all my content on the open protocol of Noster, but I'm kind of keeping a database still to filter which content I'm showing, keep track of who's posting the content, and then also kind of allowing for these to create a paywall and some of these other features. So kind of a fusion Noster client content platform. And I'm working on implementing Zaps right now. So a few steps in here. Okay, let's see if we get this LED16 response. I'll clear this out. Oh yeah, go back to details, Zap. Sweet, okay, this is our response. Wow, what a response. What the heck? So we have object.data. So let's console log response.data. Do I need a JSON.parse, I think. JSON.stringify? No, it is stringify. JSON.parse. No. Why is this coming back like this? Oh, I don't just make a request to the kind16. Whoops. Response.data. So actually, const let16 URL equals okay. Let's go to lightningaddress.com. I'm not parsing this correctly. Where's the docs? Okay, so okay. Let16 username equals kind0.split the at. Then let's see domain, same thing for number 1. Okay, that's correct. So we've got username at domain.com. So I'm going to go to domain, well-known LNURLP username. Okay. Const let16 URL equals domain, well-known Noster. It's not Noster. It's LNURLP at let16 username. Okay, there we go. So now let's make a request to this endpoint, let16 URL. Let's see what we get. I've done this so many times, but I still, it's still like Something you gotta take step by step. If you're good a few steps sometimes. Here we go. This is more of what I was expecting. Let 16 response. We see allow noster, callback. It all looks great. Okay. If response.data.allow noster. Ooh, okay. Okay, Copilot. So if you have that field that is true, we create the Zap request event and we sign it. But I'm gonna try and do this with Noster tools again, even though it just let me down. With get Zap endpoint, we've got make Zap request. We've got profile event. So event is going to be string or null. The profile has to be there. That's interesting. Mount number. So P is profile. So let's see how they use this. Make Zap request, throws an error, returns a valid Zap request. What is profile supposed to be here? I'm confused. Make Zap request. Is there types I can look at? Profile is a string. Event is a string or null. Amount, number, comment, relays. Okay. So const. Wait. Make Zap request. Okay, let's just pass in these fields right now. We'll sort them out. So profile is a string, so this will be equal to kind0.author.pubkey, say event.pubkey. Event is going to be equal to event.id. Amount. This is true, we need to pass in an amount. At this point, we need to ask the user what amount they want to send, but we'll hard code this for right now. Say 1,000, because I think this should be in millisats, so 1,000 should actually be 1 sat. So relays is going to be relays. I should have that up here. Relays, yeah. And comment is going to be call it Plebdevs. Zap. Waiting it. It says await does not affect this type of expression. So let's just console login. Zap response, line 39. Response.data.allow noster. I think it's just response dot allow noster maybe. Clear. Let's try it again. Too many concurrent requests. Let's get this response again. 16 response. So it is dot data dot allows noster. God damn it. With an S. Okay. That was our dumb mistake. Okay, Zap request, and we get the event right here. Array, pub key. We have an E tag. So it's kind of interesting. We have a P tag and an E tag. Can I leave out profile and make a valid one still? Uncaught error profile is not given. Okay. Callback URL equals response.data dot callback. Okay, back to the spec to see how we build this request. Callback amount. Start event URL. Actually, do we have a function like this from the library? Make Zap request. Event template event zr.text.pushy event return zr. Validate. So no, they don't help you broadcast it. So we'll take this snippet still. So callback URL. Our URI encode this. No. So const Zap request. API call. No, not that. Equals this. Okay, so this will be callback URL. Amount equals zap rec dot amount. Hard code this for right now. $1,000 and Zap request event. What is this LN URL? The recipient's lightning address is encoded as LN URL. LN URL. LN URL is the LN URL pay URL of the recipient encoded using BEC32. This is recommended but optional. Okay. Just leave that out for right now. So this should be our simple Zap request. Alright. Const invoice equals await axios.gib. console log, invoice. Okay, almost through the flow. Should be getting an invoice now. Failed with the code 400. All right. Master object, object. Okay, so I need to code this. Let's Zap request. Do I need to stringify it, I believe? Is an object. Okay. JSON.stringify Zap request. Okay, let's see what our request looks like. Let me see here. Here we go. Okay, request header. So amount equals 1,000 and noster. Full noster event. Response could not generate invoice. Interesting. Why it could not generate invoice? Event.pubkey, event.id. I believe I am the one that posted this, so this should all be correct. Event amount, relays, comment. Okay, back to the spec here. So, encode URI, JSON to stringify. I see. And I need to sign the event. Have I not signed it? No, I haven't signed it yet. Okay. Okay. Sign the event. And I'm going to do this with WebLN. Signed event equals... Oh wait, no. Window.noster.sign event. Sign event. Zap request. Let's check NIPO7 just to be sure if that's the right function. Sign event, okay. Signed event. And then we'll do encode URI, JSON to stringify. Signed event. All right, let's give this another whirl. Sorry, relays, if I'm spamming you. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, here we go. Connect. Ah, yes. Okay, invoice. We got the invoice. invoice is response.data.pr. Okay. Invoice response. Let's say const invoice. Invoice response does. If response.data invoice. Sweet. Not the best looking code so far, but we're working our way through the flow. So now we have the invoice. I'll say else, yeah, throw an error. Console. Show toast. Okay. Create a Zap request event, sign it, send to the callback URLs, you can request the not to query param, get the invoice back and pay it with WebLN, listen for the Zap receipt. Cool. Pay invoice equals pay invoice response. So wait, window.webln.send payment. Okay. Let's see. Pay invoice response. Is there something in NIPO 7 for get public C, sign event, get relays, NIPO 4, NIPO 44? Okay, no. Okay, let's try and pay ourselves. No, error fetching invoice. Error fetching invoice. Oh, it's .pr. Not .invoice, .pr. Okay. Oh, I need to window.webln.enable. Const enabled equals await window.webln.enable. Let's see, there's some condition here, webln.guide that I always get from webln.guide for like enabling and then sending, so getting started. I guess that's just for checking the window. So yeah, I should just be able to enable. It's just console log enabled. I want to see what this says. Okay, it doesn't return anything, but it was enabled. So once that payment, let's give it a go. And we get pay invoice response, we get a payment hash, pre-image, very cool, and then our route information. And if I go to Stacker News, I should see that I got zapped. Yeah, one sat from InPub on Note ID. And if I visit this, I see my note. Amazing. Okay, it's awesome. Okay, so we have the Zap working. Kind of a happy path, straightforward flow here, but it is working nonetheless, so that's cool. I want to pull in Zaps next on a particular resource. So this is going to be on where we render the resource. So how am I going to do this? So let's just go right into the courses carousel. So this is where each course is processed. And so we pull in the list of all the courses. And I'm actually iterating over these twice just to have extra data. But so it'll actually be in the carousel here in the course template where we're going to want to pull for each individual course or each individual event. We're going to want to basically do a query to see if there's been any zaps on that event and hopefully show it. I don't need this code right here, so I'm actually going to get rid of this. Oh wait, no, I do need that. I don't need this garbage. Don't need that. Don't need that. All right, so course template gets a specific course passed in. And what fields does that course have? This should show us here. We have ID, content, title, summary, image. ID. Okay, so this should be the note ID or the event ID. So I should be able to just in here call my use Noster hook and have a fetch Zaps. Just do this, use Noster. Got Zap event. Conch fetch Zaps for event. Okay, so the filter will be, this time we'll be looking for the Zap receipts. That's a Zap request. A Zap receipt will have a kind number of 9735 and an E tag of our specific event. So 9735. And I need tags here. How do I filter for tags? I'm forgetting. Noster tools. I think there's a filter file. Filter.ts. So I have IDs, kinds, authors, since, limit, search, and then I have this key stream value undefined. Okay. Match filters, merge filters. Filter in the Noster tools. Library, can you show me? Value on the E tag. Here's the entire file. Just give it a bunch of context. Hopefully get the right answer quick. And here is the Noster tools. I'm not even sure if this will work because I've found a lot in the past that filtering for tags is sometimes a fool's errand. Okay, so E. Interesting. Hex encoded event ID. Okay, we'll give it a try. Kinds, and then it'll be like this. And this will be event.id. Does this look right? Okay. So, kinds of 9735. Got fetch events, filter, Zaps. Where's fetch events? Update data field. Oh, I see. So I need to set aside Zaps right here. So it's just figuring out which in this like events use state to populate it. So filter, I pass in the filter, Zaps, and then this is a callback function. So this is to check tags actually. So that's pretty interesting. So I could just pass in a function to check the tags, but it looks like it's just doing a callback that returns true. So sweet. Fetch Zaps for events. Is this it? This might be it. So let's return this app event. And back into our course template. Okay. Bring in use Noster. Say const fetch Zaps. Noster. Fetch Zaps for event. And we'll bring in a use effect. Use effect. And use state. Say const Zaps, set Zaps. Fetch Zaps for event, and do I just need the event ID? Save that. Event.id. Okay, so really this is just event ID. Is all that I'm passing in. Event ID. Oops. Events.zaps. All right, let's see if we can pull this Zap in. So I'll go to the particular resource. And, oh no, this isn't the carousel, so this is actually here in the template. Refresh, renders the course template, and a bunch of disconnections here. That's okay. We'll fix that in time. Okay. Zap, 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 zaps, coming up empty. Okay, so let's console log inside of fetch events. Make sure we're not just like accidentally parsing these out. So on event console log. If
I don't know what you're talking about, Space Ghost. Go ahead, my show was
yeah, let's just try that. You get a lot here. Okay. So let's actually say if event.kind is equal to 9735. Then we'll console log it. Keep things moving, keep things grooving. Okay. And nothing. We're not getting any 9735s for that event. So let's check our filter. probably doing something dumb. Kinds 9735. This E tag. Do I want this hashtag here? Like, Mr. Tools.
How's it going, man?
Filter key of hashtag stream. List of strings. Oh, that's a list of strings is the value. I think that's what I'm adding though, yeah. Let's just see if we just make it E. Does that change anything? Okay, it does not seem to. So, in that case, let's simplify our filter here, and we'll just say const has required tags. Has E. Okay, so event.sums tagging value. So we have E tag and the value is equal to the event ID. Correct. Turn has E tag value. And pass this filter in has required tags. Cool. It's 9735, right? 57. Zap receipt is only created in the invoice description. Zap request note. And publish it to the relay as declared in the Zap request. Okay. Well, we're close here. It's probably just something with our filter or maybe our relay connections. But we got the zaps working. At least the zapping itself is working. So my goal for next time, I guess, is I want the zaps to show up over here to like the right of the timestamp. Just a simple number with a little lightning bolt. So it didn't get quite there today, but got pretty close. So I'm gonna pick that up next time, and I actually have to get going here in a minute because we've got Austin Bitcoin Design Club tonight here in Austin, so I'm stoked on that. But either way, I guess that was a good walkthrough of implementing Zaps here. Hopefully it was somewhat easy to follow. If you want to see this code, you can find it on my GitHub here, Austin Kelsey, and it's called Plebdevs. So feel free to steal all my code. Got MIT license, I think. I don't, but you're good to steal it. I give you my word. All right, sweet. Well, keep an eye out. I'm going to be doing another stream later this week, potentially this weekend. And I'm preparing the next workshop, which is actually going to be a basic Next.js workshop. So look out for that. And yeah, we'll keep building this and just kind of diving into some cool technical topics on the stream later this week. So thanks for watching if you did, and check out Plebdevs if you want to learn how to code, if you want to build Bitcoin Lightning Noster apps, or just become a Bitcoin developer. Check out plebdevs.com, and yeah, I'll be back soon.